So as you guys probably know, if you guys have logged into Epic 7 today, we have the Advent side story Enraged Blazing Emissary, which has some great rewards, and some of the rewards are going to be locked behind the hardest difficulty Epic Hell, which can actually prove to be a struggle even for you late game players out there. So today I'm going to be showing you guys one team that I actually use for Epic Hell. I have multiple teams. I'll be posting that in a separate video probably tomorrow, but for now I'm going to show you guys my most consistent and I'd say pretty easy to build for Epic Hell. And this team is going to be super easy. There's some RNG, especially in Team 2, but for the most part, it should be pretty free. And of course, in Team 3, if you don't land a defense break, it's going to be hard as well. We'll talk about that when it occurs. But when you're doing this Epic Hell or even Hell farming, you want to make sure you're using an adventure pet because this will work on the side story. It's Advent side story, so the event currency bonus does apply here. So make sure you're using this pet or whatever pet you have for adventure to farm your currency faster, because this does take a lot of energy. And for the most part, if you don't need modification gems after you finish buying out the shop here, you're not going to really want to farm this anymore because it doesn't give you gear. But this is a team. Let's actually walk through it and I'll show you guys how this team actually works. But before we actually get into the battles, for Team 1, you just basically want counter attacking bruisers, just tanky bruisers who can just attack the boss on counter set. So Navy Captain Landy is very good, Abyss Fine is very good, Apoc Ravi, all very good. And of course you want the enhanced elements by stacking at least 2 or even 3 of the same element for the bonuses. For Team 2, you really want things that can counter counterattacks. So Lionheart Sermia and Biblis are super powerful here. And then whatever knight you have in the front. I really like Last Rider Crow because he does pretty high damage. His S3 comes up like 2 or 3 times and the immunity is very nice. And then for Team 3, there's going to be multiple teams you can use. I like to use a one-shot team featuring Sigrid. I also have a defense breaker in Brieg there as well. But you really want to make sure that you have a defense breaker and basically 2 damage healers. You can sub out Karin for like Flan or Amelia, but your damage might be lacking. In that case, it might be harder to actually build this team. So for this reason, I have a defense breaker with Karin and Sigrid, just my Wyvern one-shot setup. So here is the first team here. It's pretty simple. I mean, the boss is just going to attack. You can just auto through the first stage really easily. And basically, some people say kill the turtle. With this team, you literally just press auto and you can just go on, you know, your phone, your PC, just alt tab, whatever you're playing on. You don't have to really pay attention because this team makes very light work on this boss. As you'll see, this team is pretty much going to be almost like 100% success rate. I don't really see a way this team fails, to be honest. The only bad thing is if you do take longer to kill this boss, you're going to see the boss has ramping speed and attack. In that case, if your gear is not that great, you might want to manual it and use some soul burn sometimes. You just want to make sure you have at least 30 souls going into stage 3 to soul burn your Karin and Sigrid, or whatever DPS you're using. You want to make sure you're soul burning with them on the last stage because it's basically a gear check, right? And you're going to see Navy Captain Landy just tanking everything like a boss and doing a ton of damage and sustaining because this unit is crazy strong. And we also have Lone Crescent Bellona getting a ton of stacks on her Fighting Spirit bar because the boss just keeps AoE attacking. And she's just ramping up very quickly, doing a ton of damage. And the boss should phase here after a few more turns with the skill Nully. It's super annoying, but should be pretty quick, I'd say. And it shouldn't take that much RNG or preparing. You just basically need bruisers and you need them to be tanky enough to live the attack. So this is the second battle here. This is going to be Biblis and Lionheart Sermia show. Ideally, you do want the Biblis to land a lot of defense breaks. You do want her on some effectiveness. I think you need, so whatever this is, minus 15. So you need 85% effectiveness to actually land it consistently. And you're going to see that if this lands a defense break, the fight's super easy. It doesn't land it on the boss, which is unfortunate. But we'll have Lionheart Sermia here, and she can pretty much solo this stage damage-wise. You're going to see she does a ton of damage. If the boss was defense broken, right, he'd be almost dead, to be honest. Yeah, this is basically what it is. You're just hitting the boss on auto. They're counter-attacking you. You're proccing over and over. There is RNG here if your, your Lionheart Sermia's buffs get stripped. You do significantly less damage and you take a lot more burn damage, so that's like one way you can lose. Also, if you miss every single defense break, you can lose, which is kind of what's happening here. But in some situations, even though you miss all the defense breaks, you can win in the situation where you actually just die here, just restart. It's going to eventually work. You just need enough effectiveness and enough luck to land some defense breaks sometimes. So, yeah, and you're seeing how much value Biblis and Line Artsermia are getting out of their S2. Still no defense breaks, which is kind of crazy, but even though the boss doesn't get defense broken here, as long as we're landing some on the ads to stop the damage, it should be okay. And you can see why, not Lionheart. Last Order Crow is very nice here with the immunity to stop too many burns, and also he does okay damage while mitigating damage, right? And yeah, I landed pretty much 0 defense breaks, right? Hopefully this one lands. It doesn't, but you can see like we're still winning. And if you ramp up the boss a lot, it doesn't really matter because in stage 3 you're one-shotting anyways, so you don't have to worry that much. Let's see if this one lands defense break. I have the artifact to land defense breaks on AoE attacks as well. It's like the candle, I think. It's Nogmal's artifact, right? Oh, it does land. Lands a defense break on the last one. Nice. Pretty sure it'll phase after this turn now, for sure. Line Artsermia will S3 here, and this will phase. And you really want to manual the last stage. I'm not going to lie. Making auto team is possible for phase 3, but you can't really one-shot it. You have to like grind through it. So yeah, we're going to manual this just to make the one-shot super easy. You can soul burn, Briggs S2 if you have enough extra souls. You want to make sure you have enough souls for Karin and Sigurd, whatever one-shotters you're using. I'm just going to soul burn because why the heck not, just a fatter barrier. And then here, you see if you'll one-shot it or not by landing the defense break. Hopefully you land it. You do, okay, thank the Lord. Also, you want to make sure that this guy actually doesn't blind your DPS. So most of the time you go into Briggs, sometimes he doesn't. If he goes into Sigurd or Karin and blinds them, you have to just make sure that you don't miss your attacks, which is gonna probably happen. So you can just restart if that happens. But you want to S2 with Karin, then S3. Make sure Karin goes before Sigurd. Just because she can apply more bleeds to make Sigurd hit harder with her S3. Then you soul burn Sigurd's S2. She'll actually attack again with this S1, right? If you have her on exclusive equipment. Actually, it doesn't really matter if she's on the exclusive equipment. You want her on the one that increases your S1 damage anyways. And then you S3 here, and this should kill or be very close to killing where you can actually kill the boss next turn. And as you can see, it is very close to killing, so just S1 here, now it's dead. So pretty simple. If you land 0 bleeds, it might take like an extra turn cycle, but you should be able to live. If you land an extra bleed, the boss just dies. Just rinse and repeat, and you just keep going through it, and you should be able to take this boss down eventually 3 times, right? There's only 3 times you have to kill it, as opposed to before where it was 5, which was super annoying. Get more currency now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll show you guys the stats for these units, and you guys can actually build it. Tell me down below what teams you guys use. I'll be featuring more teams in the future once I actually test some more teams out, but this is the most efficient. I wouldn't say most accessible because there's some Moonlight 5-star units, but if you do have a lot of units in the game, this team or these teams are pretty stable, I'd say, and very easy to use if you have the gear to support it.